So we've talked about what the NFPA is historically as an organization and the things that they've been able to contribute to the fire service throughout their long and illustrious history. We've also been able to kind of dial in and explain where NFPA 3000 came from, why it was brought to the table, and all of the different industry partners that had a part of that in bringing this to reality. So what we're going to do now is kind of transition from that into actually talking about the line of products that Tactical Medical Solutions has and has developed in response to this that will enable you and your agency or your organization to actually be within compliance to the NFPA 3000 guidelines. Now, a couple of things moving forward into this. If you open the NFPA 3000 guidelines up and actually go page by page, there's definitely some wording in there, and the two big important words, sometimes it is shall and sometimes it is should or may. The shall means there's no option. In order to be compliant with these guidelines, you have to have this capability or you have to do this. If it says should or may, it's highly suggested, but it's not required. We have the capability to meet all of the NFPA 3000 guideline standards. So that's the good thing about our system. Even at our bare, basic, entry-level tier that we'll start talking about here in a moment, you're automatically going to be both medically and armor protection NFPA 3000 compliant. So that's really awesome. So the system that I have laid out here in front of me, we collectively refer to it as the TacMed Critical Event Response System. And it is a 4-tiered system that includes both armor protection for the person that is wearing this stuff and going into harm's way, and then a tiered approach to medical capabilities. I'm going to address the armor first. Every single one of these tiers, at a bare minimum, will have our TacMed Responder armor that has both on the front and back level 3A NIJ certified armor. NFPA 3000 stated that that was going to be the bare minimum level of protection that they wanted people going into the warm zone with. Now, from my understanding, talking with people, watching some other videos that are out there, this was definitely a heavily debated section. What type of armor protection were we going to provide, require, etc.? And there's a lot of debate. Well, police officers don't walk around all day with a rifle plate and a helmet on, so why are we putting more armor on firefighters or EMS professionals as they're going into the warm zone? Well, as a retired law enforcement officer, yes, I wore level 3A soft panels, NIJ certified front and back, and a concealed vest underneath my duty shirt. Every time I was on duty, I never left the house without it. When I was on SWAT, and there was a definite potential that I was going to be engaging in a higher level of threat, you betcha, I was putting on a higher level protection vest that included rifle protection and a ballistic helmet. So coming back to the whole reason that NFPA 3000 was developed was an active shooter critical event, and the likelihood of engaging or encountering a higher level of threat is already there. So we want to encourage agencies to have rifle protection, to have ballistic helmets. Those in the guidelines are referred to as the should or the may, meaning rifle plates and helmets. At a bare minimum, what everybody collectively agreed upon is that they need to have a vest that has both front and back panels of level 3A soft armor that's NIJ certified. Now, going back to the vest that I wore as a police officer, that was a custom fit vest for me that they came in and measured, and I was the only one that would wear that. A lot of the ways fire departments and EMS agencies are deploying these vests is they're buying these systems for every seat on the truck. Whether that's 2, 4, 3, whatever the configuration of the vehicle is, they're buying a system of this armor for every seat on that apparatus. Now, you've got Alpha Shift, Bravo Shift, Charlie Shift. So you've got one set of people on one day that may be an entirely different body type than the people coming in on the next day, which is entirely different than the people coming in on the third day. So one of the key features about our vest, we refer to it as one size fits most. It is very adjustable, it is very adaptable. It'll fit somebody who is very large all the way down to somebody who is very, very small in stature. It's very adjustable, but the key feature is it keeps the protection over the danger zone. High in the hydraulics, protecting the heart and lung and spine. But as far as the shoulder straps, the waist and everything like that, that is where you can adjust it and be able to adapt to different body sizes. So it's very modular and very adjustable to be able to accommodate multiple shifts and different type of people as they come in. So again, the TacMed responder is going to have a front panel and a back panel. We have optional side armor that can be added on, both soft and hard armor that is rifle protection. Those again are options that can be added on if you want to increase the level of protection. As far as rifle plates goes, we have steel plates, we have lightweight plates. It just depends on what you believe the threat level is going to be. It also, just being blunt, it has to deal with budget constraints. We can get you into a set of steel plates for less than the lighter weight plates that also have some positively buoyant capability. So some really neat technology involved in the plates. But what we're going to do is work within what it is that you all say you need, and then also work within your budgets to get you into a set of armor that will make you NFPA 3000 compliant. One of the other features that will come standard on all of our vests is the universal tourniquet dispenser. And if you'll notice up here, this device that is attached to the front of the vest, what that is making use of is existing real estate. On all of these vests, you will find a patch across the front and the back that says Fire and EMS, Rescue Task Force, Emergency Management, something like that. That takes up a lot of real estate to just affix a patch. What we've done is we basically removed that patch, fitted this device on there, and what that enables you to do is now stow 2 tourniquets in that space and then set the patch back down on top of it so that that patch would be across. So it's another really creative way to make use of existing real estate and carry 2 more tourniquets. And that's the start of the medical capability. From a medical standpoint, NFPA 3000 very clearly states that your capability is going to be based off of TECC, Tactical Emergency Casualty Care, and that every system has to have a kit that enables that person to be able to respond to threats and conditions that they may encounter. So at the smallest level tier, what we would call tier 1, it would be our TacMed responder vest, universal tourniquet dispenser, and the individual kit. This would have your standard components that you would find in some of our other kits, like tourniquets, trauma bandages, hemostatic agents, chest seals, NPAs, shears, those types of common things. We have standard stock options as far as the components that will be inside, but as with every other kit that TacMed offers, we can customize those to the customer's needs and mission specifications. So that's, at a minimum, that automatically gets you NFPA 3000 compliant just by starting off with the TacMed responder and the individual kit. That's our tier 1. But again, I did want to emphasize that as far as the armor goes, we can definitely increase the level of protection. In addition to the plates and the side armor, we also offer ballistic helmets as well. And I think that's an awesome component if you're offering this to be able to include a helmet. But NFPA 3000 said that that is a should or a may, not a shall. So again, that's an optional thing that you can do. Moving into tier 2, it's the same TacMed responder vest setup, but instead of the individual kit, we now have the medic kit. Obviously, it is a larger bag and enables you to carry that many more capabilities and components. Whereas this would be an individual patient type bag, there's enough materials in there for you to be able to deal with a couple. So it just enhances your ability to carry more equipment. And again, that just mollies to the front of the vest, just like the individual kit. That would be our tier 2. So moving on to tier 3. I'm going to take this bag and set it out of the way. We'll come back and visit it at a later time. Tier 3 consists of the TacMed Responder vest, as we've already talked about it, front and back panels, level 3A NIJ compliant, universal tourniquet dispenser, and the individual kit affixed to the front of the vest. It also includes the rescue kit, which is a backpack-worn device capable of carrying a significant amount of equipment. It is a medic bag though. It is meant for the person carrying the bag to be able to access the components inside and then utilize it. We can have some throw kits in this so that you can hand off equipment to other folks, but the main purpose of this bag is to carry the equipment for the person that is on that rescue task force to be able to have access to that equipment and reach into it to help treat patients. The other big piece of equipment that is on this bag is one of our Foxtrot litters for casualty evacuation. Phenomenal piece of equipment. It's a force multiplier. Yes, it is there for 3-2-1 lift, 3-2-1 lower type capabilities if you've got a lot of assistance. If you're pared down to law enforcement escorting you in and it's just you and one other person on the rescue task force from fire EMS, this allows you all to be able to affix the patient in this, restrain them, strap them down, and then drag them behind you so even 1 or 2 people can still effectively move a casualty. Awesome, awesome piece of kit there. And then lastly, our Tier 4 is our mass casualty capability. Again, TacMed Responder armor system, individual kit, partnered with our historic Warm Zone ARC kit. This is a true mass casualty capability. The outside pockets have a plethora of equipment for the wearer to use and access should they be the one actually treating patients. But the key feature about this is it is filled with a number of throw kits that once we're on scene in that warm zone, we can start handing off additional kits to other rescuers, law enforcement, other fire and EMS personnel that are on the rescue task force, or even citizen interveners that are there, an off-duty nurse, an off-duty doctor, somebody that's been to a Stop the Bleed course that maybe themselves are wounded. They can treat themselves, and if they have the ability to engage, they can help treat someone else that's lesser wounded so that you can focus on the more critical casualties. So again, very flexible, very modular system that's going to allow you to already be NFPA 3000 compliant from the individual tier all the way up to the mass casualty tier, both medically and from an armor protection standpoint.